Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Lind Bunny Cosmetics just released the Machina palette, and we have it right here. So if you want to see how this palette swatches, performs, and what look I create, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. First of all, honey, look at this cover. Just the artwork that's on the palette itself is stunning. This is so cool looking. And all the pictures I saw, I thought this was like a really raised element on the palette, but it's actually just kind of barely slightly embossed. But the illustration is so detailed that it looks three-dimensional. I don't remember her name, but I'm gonna make sure I put the artist profile up here because she did an amazing job. She deserves all of the recognition she could possibly get. Then on the back here, it shows a little sample of the palette on the inside. That shade looks magnificent with this little picture of it. I've seen so many pictures of this, but I've yet to see it in person, and it's been difficult not to do it. I wanted to open it and check it out, but I waited for you guys, just for you. Oh my gosh, okay, you know what? On the palette itself, this is actually more raised. So it is in fact three-dimensional, as well as just looking three-dimensional based on the artwork. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I'm such a dummy. It was on the back this entire time. Cover art by Isabel Staub, and that's on both the unit carton and the palette itself. Now let's see the inside. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's gonna be so fun to play with. We have color, we have dimension, we've got variety, and we've got some super unique shimmer shades. We gotta swatch this bad baby right now. The first shade is the shade Mortality. Continuing down the first column, Attract, Enamored, Oxytocin, Flawed, Glitch, Emote, Conscious, Conduct, Error Code, Burn, Human, Diode, Digital, Machine, Sci-Fi, Switch, Precision, Robotic, Shut Down, AI, Circuit, Motherboard, and Cyborg. And there we have all 24 romantic sci-fi shades. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And you know I'm gonna show you a video close-up. You have to see these in detail. And just in case that first view wasn't good enough, here's one inside too. You guys, this color story is epic. It's vivid, it's bold, and there are a couple of those shimmer shades in there that I don't think I've ever seen before. Like this blue cyborg shade, this could be like ice. Like glacial water that has become frozen. It kind of reminds me on Waterboy. You know that water that he has that was blessed by an Alaskan priest or something? I don't remember what exactly it was, but it's like a glowing blue water. That's what this shade reminds me of. It's just stunning. And it's like aqua when you look at it one way. It's an electric baby blue when you look at it another way. Then it's like a dark, deep blue-based purple when you look at it another way. So it's very shifty. It's very unique. And the shade switch right here, I feel like this was added just for me. I seriously doubt that, but that's how I feel because I always want a shimmery white topper shade because you can make one of those shades go with anything. You just put a colored matte down first, then put that shade on top, and it makes it a shimmer shade of whatever color you chose. I feel like this is something that should be in every single palette that ever launches ever. But now that we've seen how they swatch, let's see how they look on the eye. Eyes are primed. You already know I used the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in the shade Fair. Don't forget you can use code ChristopherJMUA to save 30% on any Gerard Cosmetics purchase. Now to start out, and I am so excited to use this shade, we're gonna go into the shade Burn. This super intense, vibrant primary red. This is even brighter than stop sign red. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I don't even think I'm ready for this. Oh! I wasn't ready! Clutch the plurals! Clutch the pearls! It's so intense. Look at that pigment. Do you see that pigment? This is like a red LED light with the intensity that it has. Definitely gonna be doing a wing shape today. I'm gonna kind of follow my normal traditional eyeshadow shape. You know, do the big, long, pulled out wing shape. Definitely cut the crease because there is so much drama in this palette. And for me, a cut crease can bring out the drama like nobody's business. If you place the right shades beside each other, you can make eyeshadows look neon that aren't neon. You wanna hear the story of my life? Trust the process. Story of my life. Literally. Then for the inner corner, I'm gonna take the hot pink shade Enamored. Oh my gosh, she's super cute. Oh, that is gonna be so good for Valentine's Day. Honestly, this whole column on the far left is gonna be perfect for Valentine's Day. A one and done look. Well, like a four and done look, but it's a monochromatic pink column. It's gonna be perfect. I'm sorry, but when your eyeshadow looks like you're putting acrylic paint on your eye, something's right with the eyeshadow formula. Just look at that intensity. I wonder if we're gonna be able to do just a tap to blend. I love the Blend Bunny formula. Okay. Moving on. Now, before I go with any other shades, I'm just gonna take those same brushes I've been using and barely buff out the edge of that so it's not quite such a sharp line. That way, whenever I go in with other shades on top of it, it will actually blend and not just be two hard lines right beside each other. Not a whole lot, like just like that. Just enough to kind of diffuse the edge a tad. And same thing with the red, but again, just barely. I'm using such little pressure, it actually kind of tickles. Now we get to start adding some highlights in. For the red side, I'm gonna go into error code. Really, I'm just going up the column on both of the shades that I just used. So I'm gonna use error code to blend out Burn and then attract to blend out Enamored. Something to note is I'm also not going to take this shade all the way up to the brow bone like I normally would the lightest matte shade I intend on using. I'm gonna stop just short of my brow bone because this palette has a white. So we need to use the white. And of course, using that 50-50 method, placing half pigment down on the previous pigment, then half pigment down on the tacky base. And now attract for the inner corner. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Now, normally I would take whatever lightest shade I'm using in the inner corner and go ahead and just blow it out all the way to the brow. But since I want to use that white a little bit, I'm gonna leave this portion of my eye open so the white can go there and on the brow bone to add just a little more of an oomph to the highlight. Okay, here's where I'm gonna add the white, but I'm still going to blend with those two lighter shades that I had just because it's the only thing that's gonna really help make the white not look out of place as if it's blended with another shade that I've already used. So for now, we are going into the shade Precision, the matte white. So I want it to be right here where my shadow usually gets blown out the most and pushed into the brow. I just want that to be a little more highlighted. And then of course, the brow bone. This is also why I've left in between these two sections completely blank, because I want it to be where that white blended into error code, blended into attract, then blended back into the white. That's kind of what I see in my head. Oh, I forgot I did my brows already. I can't just shove color into them like I usually do. Okay, the white is placed down in the two areas that I wanted. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna take the same brush I've been using, buff that shade left and right first. And I'm not doing any of the blending work yet, especially with this being a white shade. If I start blending right now with this brush, I'm gonna get it covered in pink and red, and it's gonna change anything I blend from now on that's lighter than red or pink. Okay, so let's blend some of the shade Attract into this outer area where our base is, but we're not gonna touch any of the white. None of the white yet. We're just gonna blend Attract in. And as of now, I'm not adding any extra pigment, but I can tell ya, I think I probably will, just because it's looking a little sparse up there. Well, maybe it's not. No, actually, it's not looking sparse. It's just looking really soft, very blended. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for blending upward on that outer edge. Dodged to that white completely, stayed on the outer edges of that as well. And then we need to move to the inner corner. Now, just a little tiny bit is still error code, so I am gonna blend just a little tiny bit of error code upward. I'm also adding just the tiniest bit, just barely right beside where that white starts, only so I can pull up more. And then the same thing with Attract, avoiding the white, blending upward. If I don't have enough pigment to blend upward, add a tiny bit more, but actually I think I do this time. Then on the inner corner, right beside the white, taking that all the way to the bridge of the nose. It's not like I can't and am not going to clean it up with a makeup wipe anyway. Now we can go in with the brush that I used in the white shade and start blowing out that white, blending it downward and to the side. And see, since I didn't get my brush all dirty and nasty with other pigments, I'm able to blend that white downward, and it's keeping the white as like the primary tone I'm moving rather than the color as the primary tone I'm moving. Oh, that's so good. Look at that blend. And that's not me. That's just this formula. I mean, maybe it's a little bit me, but it's mainly the formula. But you can kind of see the general vibe I wanted with the white, empty space, then white. I just need a little bit more color right in here, or at least maybe a little bit more of a blend, because it's not quite as seamless as I want yet. Now we're gonna make two nice, neat, clean little lines of depth. We're gonna use our darkest shades from each column. So for the outer corner with the red, it's gonna be Human. For the inner corner with the pink, it's gonna be Oxytocin. So on this outer corner, going with the absolutely lowest point that I can possibly go, where it will still show up if my forehead's relaxed and I'm looking forward. Oh, wow. Do you see why this column is gonna be perfect for Valentine's Day? That is gonna be the best Valentine's Day look in the whole wide world. And we're just gonna pull her straight up and out, following the same kind of wing shape that we've established already with the other shades. Then for continuity's sake and blendability's sake, going back in with the big fluffy brush that I used in the red shade Burn, and just blending out the edges of Human with Burn. That totally looks like it's not gonna look good, but you guys know the moment I get that makeup wipe and I go around this inner corner and outer corner, it's gonna change everything. Now let's throw on some Oxytocin right in this inner corner. How is that gonna work? Because if I'm gonna be doing a cut crease, I'm gonna need at least this area open. And that's where that pink is. I guess we'll just have to make a super thin line of this darkest color. It'll just have to be one of those sort of barely there moments, but that's okay. As long as it's barely there right up against the cut crease, it should be perfect. This color story, this is so fun. Everything is so rich. Don't get me wrong, I can get down with some pastels, and I've been having the most fun using the Sickly Sweet palette, but I've missed me some bold colors, like that one. Now it's time to cut the crease. I'm gonna do that off camera because it takes me a million years and you've seen it a million times, so I'll see you in just a second. This is a Valentine's Day look, just like this, but I need contrasting colors. I can't do the red and pink by itself. But for now, I'm gonna take the shade Human again, that darkest red that I used in the crease, and I'm just gonna pull that down onto the outer V, but it's just to keep everything super cohesive. So pull it down here, and I'm literally just following this wing shape that goes straight up and out. It's almost like I'm taking that wing and just furthering it inwards, like I'm finishing the wing. That's about it, really. Then wiping off the excess, just gonna start buffing with super tiny circular motions. You know, ever since I started doing this method, tying in this outer corner in with the crease, I don't think I could ever not do it again. That looks like a koi fish. That's amazing. That looks looks really neat. I like that. How fun. You know what time it is? Do you? Do you? It's shimmer time! I'm so freaking excited. Because for our first shimmer, we're gonna use the shade Cyborg. We absolutely have to. And I'm using a foam tip applicator because I want it to be as intense as possible without having to spray the brush or without having to use my finger. I'm just being temperamental, really, that's all. Particular, I'm being particular. Okay, are you ready? I don't even know if I'm ready. Okay. It's so good. Oh, the foam tip applicator is definitely doing it justice. It's crazy looking in the monitor because it looks like it's like a white frosting kind of color, like icing on a cake. But what I'm seeing in the mirror is like a bluey purple instead. Gorgeous. Now that shimmer's applied, I've got mostly a nice sharp clean edge, but there's a bunch of little flakes, so it's making it look like it's not nice and sharp and clean. So using my Blend Bunny angled brow brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Oxytocin. That's that darkest shade that I used in the inner half, and I'm just gonna go right around the edge of this shimmer and cut crease to really sharpen that up. And just like that, we have achieved perfection again. Then for the next shimmer, I'm going into the shade Mortality. This is gonna go right in between Cyborg and Human. And really, I'm gonna try to use this shade sort of as like the mediator between Cyborg and Human. Since it's a pink that has a slight bit of purple to it, I'm just hoping that maybe it can marry the two and make it look seamless. And so far, I think that is exactly what it's doing. That is impossibly amazing. It's like pink fire or something, I don't know. Okay, I think I need to stop right there because if I don't, I'm gonna let this get really out of hand. Again, re-emphasizing that outer V with Human. I think that's it, you guys. I think this is it for the look. Like, I really like this just as it is. All I really wanna do is add some eyeliner to sharpen up this inner corner a little bit and to give myself a nice elongated wing, because you know how I love my wings, and finish off the lower lash line. And like I usually do, I'll probably just pull the crease shades onto the lower lash line. So I'm gonna pop off camera, finish off the final steps, and I'll be right back with the finished look and my final thoughts. And we are back with the finished Machina look, and bitch, she is killing it. This slays so hard. I love this palette so much. This color story, this vibrancy, this intensity, this amazing duochromy, multi-chromy shimmer that's on the inner corner, and even the pink that's right beside it to blend into the matte. I just love it. It is so good. I cannot wait to play in more of the colors in this palette. I mean, this was 2 columns, you know? We had our pinky column, we had our red column, that was it. Oh, except for the blue. I did go into Circuit and AI for the lower lash line. I just took Circuit right across the lower lash line and then AI to blend it out. And then on this outer corner, all I did was pick up the brush that I used to deepen with the shade Human on the outer corner of the crease and pulled that just on the outer corner of the lower lash line, and it turned it into like this really cute berry purple kind of shade. It was gorgeous. There are just so many more possibilities with this palette. I didn't use a single one of the purples, a single one of the greens. I didn't use the Conduct shimmer. I didn't use any of the gray or black or even the deepest blue or the white shimmer. I didn't use the white shimmer. Wow. That's how you know that this look is killing it, because I didn't think to reach for a white shimmer. And I always use a white shimmer, or at least some kind of highlighty shimmer for the inner corner of the brow bone or the inner corner and the brow bone. Not this time. Not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was very enjoyable for me. I hope it was just as good for you. Don't forget to let me know what you think of this look and this palette in the comments down below. I love to hang out down there with you guys and just talk. You guys are my besties, you know? It's good to catch up every now and then. It's good to talk about the makeup 411. Do people say that anymore? Do people say 411? Is 411 even a thing anymore? Now that, you know, Google exists? I used to use 411 all the time. I also used to have an AT&T calling card where you had to dial 1-800-CALLATT first. I had that whole card number and PIN number memorized by heart because I had to use payphones to call home sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the look. If you did, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up just to let me know. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!